Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me again. My name is Trent, and today we are back with more Entitled Parents on Life Stories. Let's get started. Our first story of the day is Entitled Parent Thinks Their Child Deserves Everything in the Airport. Well, we've all had those experiences at the airport, haven't we? This happened years ago, so some of the details may be fuzzy. But let me set the scene. It's Auckland Airport. I'm waiting for my flight to Brisbane in a coffee shop when a mother and her crotch goblin sit next to me. Enter the cast. Me, someone, I don't know. Entitled mother, entitled weirdo, entitled kid, entitled weirdo's weeb. I'm sitting down, enjoying a nice iced coffee and playing some random video game when entitled kid, 9 or 10, comes behind me and politely asks me what I'm doing. I explain to him what I'm playing. Entitled kid asks if he could play, and I say sure. I was in a training map, so I wouldn't lose any elo. He played for about 10 minutes or so when his mom was ordering. Then, entitled mother comes back and loses it. "What are you doing to my child?" He was just playing a game. "He's just letting me have the game." What entitled kid said shocked me. I merely told him that he could play, not have the game. I don't know how he could have the game. It was on Steam. I didn't say you could have it, I just said you could try it. It's on my computer anyway, so you would have to take that to have it. "Well, I guess you'll just have to give us the computer then." We continued arguing about whether she should have my computer, then one of the servers came over. "What's the problem here?" Before I could say anything, entitled mother fired back. "This doesn't concern you and your condescending tone. I demand a refund for my food." She had already had about $50 worth of overpriced airport food. The server went over and called the manager. When the manager came over, entitled mother flat out told him, "Where the hell is my refund?" The manager in the end just told her to get out, and like the pathetic wolf she was, she huffed and she puffed and continued to do that until she left. But before she left, she flipped me the bird and then spilt my iced coffee. The cafe ordered to replace it, but I declined. In the end, I still had my laptop and got onto my flight with almost no problems. That's until I saw entitled mother and entitled kid in line for my flight. Luckily, she was a whole 15 or so rows away from me, but still gave me condescending looks every time she walked past me. I replied to her with a smile. So it turned out okay. Still annoying though. Edit. I was playing Brawlhalla. Oh, Brawlhalla? Hell yeah. But could you believe the nerve of that mother? Just trying to walk away with someone's computer? Jeez. With that out of the way, we move on to our second story of the day. Entitled grandmother demands going outside naked to help lifting boxes. Gets me thrown out of the house. I have many questions. I'm living in a house together with my aunt and my uncle because my mom's flat isn't enough space for all of us, so I needed to. There also lives my step-grandmother, who hates me and my sister and calls us names and stuff like that all the time. Cast: entitled grandmother, entitled uncle, entitled aunt, and the non-entitled girlfriend. This happened last Saturday while my girlfriend was at my place from Friday to Sunday. Friday went well, we had lots of fun, and I beat her and my sister at Monopoly. So after we finished, we went into my room and I locked the door because we had sex and I didn't want to be disturbed, of course. So we fell asleep after having sex and watching a movie and woke up at like 9 a.m. the next day, still completely naked. We thought we simply can stay naked for a bit longer, so we did. Around 12:30 p.m., someone knocked on my door all of a sudden. I said that the person should wait a second, but the person, who would be revealed to be my entitled grandmother, didn't. So she started banging on the door like a maniac and ordering me to come out of my room immediately. So I put on some trousers really fast and my girlfriend a shirt, and I went to the door and asked, why can't she wait a second, and what's wrong? She told me that I should help my entitled aunt lifting some boxes out of her car into the basement. I said that I will, after I just put on a shirt really fast, but she demanded from me that I should go outside without one. I refused, of course, because it was like 4 degrees Celsius outside and was going to close the door again to get a shirt, but was stopped by her accusing me of being a lazy ass and that I just don't want to help, and even demanding that my girlfriend help too. So that went on for like a minute while I'm standing at the doorway trying to calm her down while hiding my girlfriend from her eyes because she was still naked at the bottom. At some point she said that my entitled uncle should throw me out of the house for not helping in the household. So I started screaming at her that she should get out of the house and let me finish putting some clothes on. That made my entitled uncle rage and come to my entitled grandmother, shouting that I'm done and that he finally throws me out of the house. I, in total shock, try to calm them both down without any luck, until my entitled aunt joins us too, also screaming at me that I should leave. I felt fully ashamed, and still do. Because of the situation, I just put a shirt on and told my girlfriend that she should finish dressing up. I did the same, and we went outside helping my entitled aunt lift the boxes. While getting looked at like I'm shit and called names, I tried to apologize, but neither of them wanted to listen, just repeating that I will get thrown out. I also said that we both still were naked, and that I couldn't open the door, but my entitled aunt just replied that being naked at the afternoon isn't okay, whatever that means. After we finished lifting the boxes, I went back inside to my girlfriend, hugging her and crying in her arms, and went over to my mom's place and waited for her to come back from work to discuss the situation. When she came back, she told me that entitled grandmother saw how my mother went to work, probably waiting for her chance to ruin my day. The rest of Saturday went without trouble, just me crying again and cuddling with my girlfriend. Sunday also went kinda well, until the evening after I brought my girlfriend home. My mom told me that according to my entitled uncle, I started the whole mess all by myself, and that I didn't try to apologize in some way, and my entitled grandmother was just relaxed all the time. And I didn't do a damn thing. So I'm forced to live at my real grandmother's place for a while, unless my entitled uncle can be calmed down in some way. We'll find out later today. Update. They kinda calmed down, still accusing me to be the main reason for all of it, but yeah, I can live in the empty part of the house, meaning I have kind of my own flat. I should be there for at least some time in order to get the situation more calm in general. You know, some of these are funny. That one wasn't exactly that funny. That was kinda sad. Guys, try and make sure that your grandmother's nice. Don't have a grandmother like this. Next story we have is titled, "It's Just a Trophy, Lady." This might be more of an entitled kid story. I don't know. I suppose there's a chance the mom wasn't an entitled mother and genuinely thought she was defending her child from wrongdoing. But, I was a child. Okay, so this happened when I was like 11. I used to go to church camp as a kid. I was the only one in my family going to this church at the time, so I was generally looked after by a couple of ladies. One of which was my bunkmate. She was a counselor for the junior girls' cabin, and the other stayed in the other side of the cabin. This was like a week-long thing, and honestly probably the highlights of my summers for a few years. We had games and stuff we could play, and there were trophies awarded at the end of the week. One of these games was ping pong. Now, let me tell you, I'm no ping pong whiz. Fortunately for me, no one else there was either. So I'm getting through this tournament, and my last opponent is Entitled Kid. Entitled Kid is my pastor's granddaughter. Pastor was a cool guy. I wasn't exactly friends with Entitled Kid, but we hung out during church sometimes. We'd never had any issues before. His daughter, the entitled mother, was someone I talked to often. She had her own clique of friends that she liked to hang out with. So, through dumb luck, I actually managed to beat Entitled Kid. I did a little excited, yay! Told her good game, and then rushed over to tell some friends I made from another church. Later that day, Entitled Mother and another of the adults found me. I think I was chasing toads or something, and pulled me aside. The adult was the first to talk. "Did you say anything to Entitled Kid when you won that ping pong tournament earlier?" "I told her good game." "Well, she told me that you went up to her and said, 'How does it feel to be a loser?'" Some backstory here. So, I was very much a shrinking violet kind of kid. I was used to getting screamed at a lot at home for the slightest thing, so my self-confidence was next to nothing. I'm not going to say I never thought about saying anything like that to anyone, but I would never have the guts to actually do it. "Are you calling Entitled Kid a liar?" "No, but I didn't say that." Maybe she misheard it or something. "I want you to apologize to her right now." I'd love to say I stood up for myself, that I definitely told her no, but as I said, I had no self-confidence there at all. So I was brought over to Entitled Kid, who gave me this smug smile. I mumbled my apology and then ran off to cry. Later that day, we're all sitting for dinner, and I can hear Entitled Mother talking about how rotten a sportsman I was, and how the trophy needs to go to her daughter. Meanwhile, I'm just shrinking down, trying not to be noticed. One of the ladies that looks after me, who I'll refer to as L, overheard this and walked over. "Did you hear them saying that?" "No, my daughter was telling me." "Well, it doesn't sound like something she'd say." "Well, her family doesn't go to church. Maybe they didn't teach her any better." Whatever your issue is, you have no business talking about a child like that, especially when she's in earshot. Entitled mother looks over to see me sitting not too far away. My back was to her, so she didn't see me crying. She muttered something and then left. I did still end up getting my trophy, so she didn't pull any strings in that way. There was no retribution for her, no comeuppance. I didn't go back the next year because of how that made me feel, and when I went back the following year, I was in the senior girls' cabin where I was adopted by a group of teenage girls. While I never told anybody about what Entitled Kid had done to me that year, Elle certainly had, and I was absolutely not the first kid Elle had ever taken under her wing. At least one of them was with me at all times. Entitled Kid came to hang out with us a few times. She was the same age as me, but I never really talked to her again. I learned a lot about confidence from those girls. Well, you know what? At least there was a happy ending for this one. That's about all the time we have for this episode of Entitled Parents. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Life Stories for more high-quality Reddit content. My name is Trent, and I will see you guys later.